Ever found yourself wondering about the history of your school? Schools are more than just buildings filled with classrooms. They are the cradle where minds are shaped, characters are formed, and citizens are made. Just think about it. It's in these hallowed halls of learning where we acquire the competencies and skills necessary to contribute to societal development. Yet schools do more than just teach us math, science, or languages. They also shape our values, our attitudes, and our understanding of the world around us. Schools are instrumental in creating not just educated individuals, but informed, responsible members of society. But have you ever stopped to think about your school's own history? Like us, every school has a unique story, a journey that has shaped its identity over time. This history is a treasure trove of insights waiting to be unraveled. So, let's dive into the fascinating history of our school. Our school, like your family and village, has a unique history. But how do we uncover it? Just as historians piece together the past using sources, we can delve into the history of our school. Let's begin this historical journey by looking at the various sources that can help us. Plaques placed around the school grounds, old documents stashed away in city or village libraries, retired teachers who've seen the school evolve, and even past students. All of these provide a wealth of information about our school's history. To illustrate this, let's share a story. In this story, our protagonists are the grade 6 students who decided to investigate their school's history. With a thirst for knowledge, they planned to invite the first ever student who walked through the school's gates to share his or her experiences. With their teacher leading the way, they approached the school principal to gather information about this first student. The principal, in response, offered them a glimpse into the past through the old admission register of the school. As they flipped through the worn-out pages, they came across a name, the first student to be admitted to the school. Who was this pioneer? It was none other than Mr. M.A. John. Now in his 80s, Mr. John was brought to the school with the help of past students and parents. His arrival was met with applause and a sheaf of betel, a traditional mark of respect. The students eagerly listened as Mr. John, with the same twinkle in his eye that he probably had on his first day at school, began to reveal the school's past. His recollections painted a vivid picture of the school's early days, the village, and the people who were part of its history. And that's the magic of unearthing our school's history. It connects us to our roots, brings the past to life, and helps us appreciate the journey our school has undertaken. With the principal's help and some old admission records, we were able to find our first student, Mr. M.A. John. And with that, we've taken our first step into the past. Greeted with applause and a sheaf of betel, Mr. M.A. John, our first ever student, had a tale to tell. His eyes sparkled with nostalgia as he began his story, transporting us back to the year 1935. "My dear sons and daughters," he began, his voice filled with warmth, "I felt a wave of happiness wash over me when I set foot in this school again. It was like being a child once more, stepping into a world of learning and discovery." He took us on a journey through time, painting a vivid picture of the early days of our school. It was a time when our school was a beacon of light in a small village, a government institution that offered the gift of education to those who found it difficult to travel to the city. In those days, he reminisced, there were only 2 schools in the city, a missionary school and a Buddhist school. The city was a long journey away for the children of our humble village, and this school was built to bridge that gap. He told us about the village, a tight-knit community of around 20 families, most of whom were farmers. There were also potters, and his father, he told us with a hint of pride, was a businessman. Life was simple, yet fulfilling, and the school was a cherished part of that life. It wasn't just about academics, he shared. The school was a place where friendships were formed, where young minds were shaped, where values were instilled. It was the heart of the village, beating with the rhythm of learning and growth. As he concluded his tale, there was a moment of silence, a collective sigh as we returned from our journey through time. His story was a reminder of the roots of our school, of the community it was built to serve, and of the immense role it played in shaping the lives of its students. And just like that, we've journeyed through time, learning about the roots of our school and the community it was built to serve.